tell me a little bit about that. Like, let's get in on what you're doing for wholesalers and investors.
Yeah, I think so. It's interesting for me coming into this industry and being, ignorant to the entire industry, literally 12 months ago, right? So not having a clue other than me thinking that like there's an issue, there's a gap in this industry. Because from the outside looking in, my gosh, it's really easy to find a successful investor or wholesaler. You just look for the guy with the biggest pain tolerance. That's it, right? Because you guys, like from the outside looking in, it's just like, man, they're just in an uphill battle. Like they're fighting realtors for leads. They're basically going, hey, a realtor can get you this. I can get you a quarter of that or a half of that if you're lucky. If you want to do business with me. And it's just like, man, talk about like you're just walking into every conversation with the worst value prop in the world. Obviously it's not that simplistic, but from the outside looking in, like that's how I was looking at it. So in my mind was, okay, so I have, I get to lean on the brilliance of Google and Google's AI. I've got a lot of experience with Google Ads and YouTube and how this stuff works and targeting and messaging and all this stuff, right? Like I've just spent years learning how to convince people to spend $5,000 on a course on how to trade Forex. Like there's got to be some sort of overlay here. And so we were looking at things and really diving in. It's just like, wow, like the marketing strategy for investors is a shotgun approach. Just get your message out to as many people as possible. It's a numbers game. Enough people, like there's going to be enough people coming back willing to take these lower offers and we can do something with it. And our thought was, okay, so what if we just did this opposite? What if we like cherry picked? What if we talked to some of the most successful investors and go, if you could only have two conversations today, who would those two people, what would those two people's situation be? So if you only got to have two conversations today with two different sellers, what situation would those two people be in that would be best for you as an investor? And so it was kind of interesting. So it's like, okay, so I'm not worried. I'm not targeting zip codes or like average income of zip codes, because that's a way of targeting things, right? Don't look at like male, female, and age and all this kind of stuff. Think about, okay, let's think situational. Who are the people, basically, who are the most distressed people willing to take a discount on their property and be very, very happy with that situation? Like there's got to be another motive, right? So the motive introduced is time. So it's like, okay, so in what situation are people in where time is more painful than money? So they're willing to decrease time for money, right? And now we can go write a list of that. And now I know this is what you guys think about all the time, but we were trying to think about in terms of marketing. Like, how do we think about it?
Right.
Okay, so like people going through foreclosure, great. People inheriting a home, okay, interesting. People going through a divorce were a very, very big one that we learned very early on. So we're like, interesting. So I can find now, right? So asking all these questions before worrying about marketing channel or how to target them, but figure it out perfect first. And then reverse engineer, right? Okay, so I know somebody going through a divorce is a great person I want to talk to. Or even better, I know this client is great. Sub 2 is kind of their big thing. Who's the perfect person for a sub 2? Military, right? So if you were looking to do a subject 2, an ideal person to talk to was somebody who's in the military, who spent 2 years at a base and just got redeployed, because now they're going to have to sell a home after 2 years where they have no equity in it and they're going to lose money on realtor fees. Great opportunity to pitch sub 2. So now how do we reverse engineer that? Okay, so what's that person looking for? Well, that person's probably Googling how to sell a home on a base, or how to sell a house without any equity without losing money, or things like that. So now we can start getting a lot more rich, right? Or how about somebody, what to do with my house while going through a divorce, how to enforce a prenup, right? So these are things that people who have assets and are worried about their assets and might be more inclined to take a discount on price for a value increase or a shorter amount of time for a sale. So now we're able to kind of look at it that way. And then we start, then messaging comes in, right? Because then it's not how to get a cash offer for your home. Everybody says how to have a cash offer for your home. That's not a value prop, right? A value prop is, what if I could get you cash for your home in the next 10 days, right? Ooh, that's a little more sexy, right? What if I can get you out of foreclosure, ominous, right? But intriguing, especially if you're in pre-foreclosure, right? And so on and so forth. What if you saw an ad that said how to deal with your mother's hoarder home, right?
Yeah.
Now, very different than I'll give you a cash offer on your house, right?
Absolutely.
Very different if I just inherited this hoarder house 3 states over. I'm not worried. My top of my mind isn't who's going to give me cash for that home. Top of my mind is what the heck do I do with the hoarder house 2 states away that's got $3,000 of back taxes, and I work 6 days a week trying to raise my 3 children, barely making paycheck to paycheck, right?
Yeah.
I don't need a bandit sign saying I give you cash for your home isn't getting my attention. What's getting my attention is somebody specifically talking to my pain point. So
wow. So I'm you hit a lot right there, but I wrote this down because we have a lot of people, especially in the words you're saying, the vocabulary you use is marketing, right? Marketing terms and strategies and stuff. And so you said value prop. I just want to make sure it's value proposition.
correct.
And you were kind of going on that. Can we stop right there and do that again? You said cash for house. That's not a value proposition. We'll buy your mom's hoarder house. That's a value proposition. Why is that different for people because if you don't get marketing at all, that it sounds the same, right? Cash for houses might sound better. Why is that different?
Right. And I'll iterate a little bit to make it a little bit more of a value prop. I think I might have lost the plot when I got there a little bit. But yeah, if I were to say, I'll give you cash for your home, or if I were to say, or if you had an advertisement or something, and the advertisement was how to make money on your inherited hoarder house, right? Or how not to lose or how to get out of debt with your inherited hoarder house, right?
Yeah.
Which is playing to my current pain. So I'll give you cash for your home. First off, just think about the verbiage there, right? It's not my home. Technically and legally, it's my home. I did inherit it, but I'm not thinking of it as my home, right? So already just the verbiage in that marketing statement didn't immediately click. Not to say that it means I'll never click on it. It just means now the likelihood's even less. And now it's just like, well, I don't really care about cash either. Like it's not a I need 80 grand in my pocket right now. It's every single month I'm paying taxes on a property that I never wanted and somebody else just forced upon me, right? So now it's not about I need a cash out. It's not my home. Okay, so but if the value prop was how to stop bleeding money with your hoarder house 2 states away, or how to capitalize or how to make money with the hoarder house that you've recently inherited, right? That's a value proposition. I'm proposing some sort of value. I can give you value. Where when I'm saying I can give you cash for your home, I'm assuming that has value to you, right? And so you can kind of see the difference. One's a lot more thought out than the other.